So, I don't know if my one from Instagram uploaded, but it's okay. I've been having a lot of like difficulty with technology. I don't really care. Don't force too much. But here we are. So this one is called "Who's Afraid of Little Old Me." I've talked about dragons. I've talked about rainbows. I've talked about abuse. I've talked about New Earth. This is all about New Earth. Um, which is it's very interesting. I think about it a lot because I'm like, it, I'm like the Matrix. It seems so real, but it's not. And I don't know. I feel like it's not so much about like trying to see how it isn't real. It's more important to realize how much you are real. If that makes sense. I think it does. I think that's the most important thing. I think that's what it's all about. It's like realizing how real you are and like how more real can I be should be the question. And it's not in terms of like being like a real bitch or a real nigga, like something like that. No. It's like how authentic can I be to myself in every single moment? Cuz I feel like even if you say like how can I be my most authentic self, you can kind of still get lost in compartmentalizing and like stuffing yourself into a box, or which, and this is the out of the box time, because it's the freedom time, it's the love time, uh and so that's why I say in every now moment, how can I be the most true to myself as possible. And I think one of the reasons why I needed to switch from Instagram to here is because in between I saw this reel of Maya Angelou, or some people say Maya Angelou. But basically, she's saying how anger is good and how when she is angry, she is being creative. Because in that moment when she's angry, somebody has made her angry. She's the first person to know, and the offender is the second person to know. And she said it's very quick, it clears out very quickly. This goes back to what I was saying earlier about being careful how you conceptualize things, being careful about what you believe, about what you think, about what you experience. Be careful about what you think about what you experience. Be careful about how you conceptualize and compartmentalize um, what you have experienced. Um, Let me just like give you an example. Let's say you're sick, right? Something is wrong, I don't know, with your eye. I don't know. Make sure in this sickness, hopefully you don't, wishing you all the health, but make sure in this sickness you're not like giving your power away and like becoming a victim who just has to sit and like, I don't know, find a way to like let it do what it does to you, but at the same time don't also become a person who's like chasing this cure from the outside. Like be careful how you're thinking about anything and everything, because it's manifesting immediately. And I feel, and I've found, I think personally, and like any ailments that I've been experiencing are directly related to emotional uh, experience that I've been having, and most likely like blocking consciously and subconsciously. And I feel like fears are very important right now. Obviously, they always are, but I feel like they're doing all of us a great service by revealing themselves to us. This is the year of reveal, but fuck the year. This is the time of reveal. Um, and they're doing us like, think about them in a grateful kind of way if you would like, if you prefer to, because it's you can't heal what you never reveal. It's like that's why people pay all that money to go to therapy, because the therapist will sit there and tell them, "Oh, you're behaving like this because blah 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 blah." It because the fears are being revealed through many different ways, I think, in all of our personal lives. You get to see for free without paying hundreds of dollars per hour. You get to see for free what is happening and why. Like there's, like I was saying, there's no more huge gap between like point A and point B, and I mean that in many many ways. So I think for me personally, it's been like a lot of I don't know what these sounds are. It's been like a lot of throat chakra clearing, lots of that for me, and I feel like it's from this whole lifetime, but I also think it's from many lifetimes, and I also think it's collective. I feel like it's mine, but also that of the collective, because I feel that we have not been speaking our truths out of fear of being harmed, which is not which was not uncalled for, I don't think. Uh, for example, I think this is a fairly easy example. Queer people who have stayed in the closet out of necessity for survival, because they knew for a fact that if their families or the people they were surrounded by, their community, their town, if they found out that they were queer, they would kill them. I guess you could also go to like the Salem or trial, or hang the witch. And speaking of Wicked, trailer just came out, but it's like you have to hide your belief and the things that witches believe in, because the town will burn you alive. They will kill you. They'll burn the witch. And so out of the need for survival, they silence themselves. And I feel like all that silence, all that hushed mouth is clearing through all of us. But I will say, because this is me, my personal experience, it's clearing through me. And I think, especially within my own personal ancestry. Mm? Just saw something else. Kemet. It's always Kemet. It's like coming up. I don't know what happened there, but it's a lot of shit. I think even perhaps Atlantis. It just feels like a lot of. I'm picking up like a lot of lies, a lot of like misinformation, and there were people who knew the truth, but they had to like silence themselves as to not be like found out, because that's a lot of what happens in the book that I mentioned on Instagram, The Iron Flame, where history has been like removed, completely like wiped out. It's been changed, it's been altered. But there are people who knew the truth. They knew the truth of the history, but they had to silence themselves. And so that is clearing big time. And I'm hearing now, it shall never happen again. This is the end of that. It's not happening again. I don't mention him so often anymore, and I'm probably mispronouncing his name, but that's okay. Darius Wright, and the last name is spelled with a W. Um, I would recommend watching any of his interviews, but I know he has a website, Darius Wright. I'm hearing. Okay, so creativity. Creativity is something that I've heard Spirit, I don't know, encouraging me, pushing me to do. I feel that that is extremely relevant. I think in many ways, and I feel like I was saying on Instagram, one of the ways that it's important is because this is like it's hard to say like how to describe it, but it's like a trial run. It's like a testing period. It's not a testing period. I don't think I have the right words to describe it, but it's like it's a prelude. It's like what you do before the thing becomes the real thing. Okay? Like a probationary period, but it's like all these words are wrong because it's going to happen. So you can't fail it. It's just like that's the only way I can describe it. But it's like because I mentioned kind of, I guess, the negative take on it, like be careful what you think because it'll manifest quickly. But it's like also now be creative in how you think and how you feel and how you react because that's also going to be manifesting. So it's like start using your powers now. Start like seeing what you can do. Like how creative can you be? Like what can come out of you now that you're out of this space of trapped, confined paranoia, if that makes sense. I feel like creativity also just obviously has to do with birth, rebirth, and I feel like it's a whole new birthing experience. It's a rebirth of birth itself and like what that looks like. Mhm. Okay? So I'm seeing now like for example, singing. As we know it, as we have previously known it, singing comes from the throat. But if we are living in a dimension, in a reality of creativity that is infinite, why can't singing come from the whole body? Why can't sound radiate from the whole body? Like that's how we should be thinking, feeling, believing in a very expansive kind of way. And I feel like the message is to start that now. Like start creative habits now, or start like pushing yourself, like how can I be more creative? How can I be more open and to like I don't know, things being better, different from how they are now. Okay? So another thing is divine timing, but I feel like even that phrasing is late and old. I don't feel like 1 2 3 on the clock, 1 2 0 3. I feel like the divine timing is no longer accurate. I feel like the message I'm getting from spirit is like there's no rush anymore. Or anymore might not even be a good enough word, but like there's no need to rush. There's no need to be productive spiritually. Uh, I don't like saying even spiritually. I don't like saying any of these words because it's like, while they may be accurate, they're not precise. Or while they may be precise, they're not accurate. Like, you can't. The way that I can put it in an example with what I'm trying to say about words, it's like, you can't ask the right questions about what you have yet to experience. And so, in this case, what I'm trying to say is you can't describe in words about words or things that haven't been revealed yet. As I'm having difficulty putting these things into words. So, hopefully, you can just pick it up through my energy, what I'm saying. And again, it's surprising because I did not expect all this woo-woo shit to come out of me. I was like, it's going to be normal. And it's not. It's very meta, I think, what I'm saying. It's always so interesting because I don't sit around thinking like this. But then when the spirit is like, you should probably do something, it's like all these big concepts or like these fancy things like come out. Which I feel like in a way I do on purpose to kind of like keep myself familiar, because then if I start thinking or being this way, it won't match with where I am. it'll be very difficult to go through normal everyday life with like time and stuff and names and like physical things. I don't know if that makes sense. Um, what was I saying? Yes, about time. Like there's no need to like rush anymore or to do things in a timely manner. And I will say I mean this when it comes to, again, like spiritual things. I don't like saying that because it's everything. We are spiritual beings having a 3D experience. Um, that's ending. Kind of makes me want to cry in the best way. Maybe I should talk about that. Um, but yeah, the reason I want to specify the difference though is because this is not me encouraging you to like stop using watches and stuff and to abandon your life. But if that's what you want to do, then that's what you do. Um, yeah, I don't know. The reason that I want to like cry happiness is because I just remembered a memory. I just remembering a memory from like Mintaka where I just felt this very pure love between me and a parent. Um, I'm feeling it now, and it's like you don't know. This is what I was saying earlier. You don't know what you're missing or what you missed, what you yearn for until you have it. Because there's like this fog and this amnesia and this like distance between here and the truth. But now those lines are blurring because they're merging again, like the colors of a rainbow. It's one color, but it appears to us in these sections of colors. Um, it's one thing, like, but if you look from the top, it's just I don't know. If you look from this way, you can't like you see it's thin. If you look from the top, it's one thing. It's a circle. Anyways, stuff. But yes, that's what I meant. like so I guess I can give examples of like what I mean by like everything merging. I've been having I feel like that's one of my gifts coming online, which is crazy because I didn't think I could get any more gifts, which just shows you how limited my mind is. But one of the gifts that's been coming online is like my like premonition, like dreams. I've been having dreams, and then I see people in those dreams, and then I meet them in real life, and like what's been happened that's happened increasingly. But what's also been happening is like I used to have this all the time, but it used to be like more spaced out. But now it's happening close together where like these dreams were they're other realities, but they're becoming closer. I think a good example would be Everything Everywhere All at Once, where they show you like the map of like the different realities, and like the closer ones, there's ones that are closer to each other. Like the difference between I walked left this day and I walked right this day versus the difference between I chose to marry this person and I didn't choose to marry this person. Like there's bigger decisions and there's smaller decisions. And I feel like those smaller decisions, those realities are closer together. That's what I've been remembering them. It's you don't usually don't remember them. You usually aren't able to like connect with these things, but we're being able to because it's like we're coming back online. I've said this before, but I feel like people still don't get what I've said, or also I don't understand the gravity or the grandeur of which by which I mean these things. But we are so much greater. We're so much bigger than what we think. We're so huge, and it's so difficult for our very small perception of ourselves to see how grand we are. Because, as we exist now, for example, this is with me as well. I don't want to exclude myself like I'm like some cool person. But as we exist now, it's like, for example, I don't think that I'm like more smart than an iPhone. Like, I'm like, I can't hold all that data. I can't do all these things. But and the truth and truly, all of us, our souls are like indescribably massive in terms of like possibilities. So you couldn't possibly like begin to like to compare us or define us in any way. That's how amazing we are. Um, yes, and that part of us, that way of us, it's coming online. It's turning on. It's turning on. And I'm hearing now it can't be all at once, but also like it must be all at once is what I'm hearing. Like it can't be all at once because like downloaded all that shit at once, it just crashed. So it can't be all at once. But at the same time, it has to be all at once. And this is also something that's come up a lot with me where more than one thing can be true. More than one thing can be true at the same instant, which is something that I feel like we all kind of struggle with because of being socialized. But for example, what I mean by that is, for example, with this crystal, two things can be true about this crystal at once. For one, it can be white, but it can also be rectangular. Two things can be true at once. And so it's like it has to happen. It has to happen all at once. I'm hearing so that nothing is left behind, but it also cannot happen all at once because it would you'd crash, you'd fry if it happened all at once. But I do feel like I want to say that there's a lot of joy to be had. I had a dream the other day of like going to this party, and it was Ramona Lappin was there and all these other people. It was a smaller group, I will say. I don't know why, and I didn't see most of the people, but I knew in the dream the party was upstairs. He was upstairs, and I was downstairs, and I was like getting ready, and it was strange because I don't go to parties and I don't like socialize with groups of people a lot. But I was so excited and I knew why I was there and I knew it was for a purpose and I knew there was something upstairs that was important. And Ramona was like bringing the cake. And it was this very particular cake of like giant pancakes, two of them stacked on top of each other, and inside was like this filling, and they had like a huge dollop of whipped cream. This huge cake could feed like probably like 100 people, but I'm hearing 30. Uh, yeah, I just feel like there's like I was saying earlier with the song, but Daddy, I Love Him, the Taylor Swift. It's like this anticipation. I feel like I've been waiting on something. I've been waiting on like pieces to fall into place because I feel like there just needs to be just little moments of jumping from us as individuals, like little moments of jumping. Like you'll know when it's time for you to do something, like to record this video. You'll know when it's time for you to do the little jumps. But most of it, because we're in the return of the divine feminine and also the masculine, therefore in the inner child, most of it is coming to you. So it's just like be present so that you'll know in the moment. It's like it's getting rid of like the need for calendars, for time. You don't need all these things. You don't need to be prepared. You don't need to be in the past like using this old material to prepare for this new material. You don't need anything but yourself. You don't need anything but divine, within. That's all you need. It's literally like how church is supposed to be, what they say in the Christian church is just bring yourself. That's all you need. Just bring you. Is what they say. Like, that's all you need. It's all the tools you need. I don't know. I feel like I'm supposed to emphasize this. That is all that you need. It's just you. And it's these little dropping points of things being delivered just how it's supposed to be. And so that's another reason why there's this emphasis, like, not to worry about time. You're not late. I'm hearing someone, or maybe me, someone is worried about like aging, or like it being too late, like, or especially like women or people with wombs. Like, there's this time frame of like, I need to get pregnant and have children within this window. Spirit is like, none of this shit is actually real. And like, by by focusing and like also creating, manifesting this new earth, putting all your energy into trying to counteract these set timestamps when they don't need to fucking exist. I'm hearing it's anger because it's coming out. It doesn't need to fucking exist. It's like a trick. Let me give you an example. It's like, let's say, I don't know, someone said, oh, by the way, in 20 blah blah blah, there's gonna be this huge volcanic eruption and you're gonna die. And so now you're worried about like your children's children like being in during that time, during that volcanic eruption. And so instead of being in the present moment with everything you need as yourself, you're projecting away from yourself to this future event. But Spirit is saying that shit is void. It's not actually going to happen. You don't need to worry about it. Therefore, you can just be completely here in your power, in your power, in your power. This I feel like is incredibly important, and it's threaded throughout everything that I've been channeling thus far about the throat chakra, about the dragon, about the rainbow, about abuse clearing, about how you conceptualize things that are happening in your life. I'm hearing everything fringes or infringes. Everything hangs, everything depends on you being in your power. This is a message that I've gotten strongly. I'm looking at my battery percentage. This is a message that I've gotten strongly, like, in my personal life. I've had to make some very tough decisions, but it was expressed to me. Spirit told me very strongly, Jabria, this is not the time to fuck around. There has been many opportunities where you were supposed to stand up for yourself and do this, but you didn't. And it was okay. Let's say you wanted to go through that karma, you wanted to experience the suffering and the pain, or whatever you wanted to experience from there. Okie dokie. But now is not the time. Because you know what? And I'm getting a little riled. I'm getting kind of emotional. If I do not choose to allow myself to be free, that means that I'm also choosing to not allow anyone else to be free, because we are all the one. So that means if I am not choosing my own freedom, I am consenting to the imprisonment of others. Let me say that again, and if I sound dramatic, it is because of how substantial I mean this, and how much it's true, how substantially it's true. If we are consenting to the imprisonment of ourselves, we are also consenting to the imprisonment of others. If you are not choosing the freedom of yourself, if you say, oh, I don't deserve it. Oh, it's okay if people talk to me like this. It's okay if people treat me like this. It's okay if I talk to myself like this. It's okay. It's fine. treat me like this and, I'll just keep suffering. It's okay. I'm nobody. I don't deserve this. If you are saying that and signing off on that, think about the children. You are also ticking, check, 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 to them being treated the same way. That's not okay. And the way it was told to me is, Jabria, it's not now or never. It is now or never. This is the time. Spirit was like, I've lined it up perfectly for you. I couldn't have made it more easy. Do it. Do it. You have to get out of your ego. You have to become unselfish, because selfishly, I would love to continue to bow to my fears. I would love to do that because it's safe. That's what I know. That's what I've experienced. Sure thing. Let's keep repeating these cycles. I know how to maneuver through them. I'm familiar with the torturing process. Sure, let's do it. That would be me being selfish. Yes. But you have to become selfless by serving yourself in order to serve others. I'm hearing sometimes the only way to serve justice is to serve justice through you. Sometimes it's not always about taking the bullet. Sometimes it's about putting down the gun. That's what I'm hearing. Because it's always you. You're the one that's shooting. You're the one that's being shot. So sometimes it's not about being heroic in the sense of jumping in front of somebody and taking the bullet for them. Like the grenade from Bruno Mars. It's not always about jumping and saying, oh, I'm going to save you by taking the bullet so you don't have to get shot. It's about realizing that you're the fucking person shooting in the first place. Put down the gun. Then nobody gets shot, and we don't have to do any of this anymore, is what I'm picking up. That's what I'm getting. You're holding the gun. Put down the gun. Stop allowing these things, these curses, these generational curses, these karmic cycles to continue to play out. Stop consenting to them. Then nobody has to get shot. Then nobody has to experience the pain. You consenting to yourself getting shot is you also consenting to other people living in a world where there's violence with guns. These ideas of like this self-sacrificing female lamb they have got to fucking go. On the outside, they seem so like, she's doing. I'm talking about the energy. She's doing such a valiant thing, sacrificing herself like that in order to protect those people. No, she is not. No, she's not. Because in the grander scheme of things, we need her. I'm probably sounding crazy. That's okay. In the grander scheme of things, no, it is not okay if the divine feminine is shot and sacrificing and bleeding and dying and dead. It is not okay. No, we need her. How is that beneficial? How is it benefiting anyone? The divine feminine has to consent to her own freedom. She has to save herself. She has to insist on her worth and her value. She has to insist on justice being served to herself, from herself, by herself. That's the only way that everybody makes it out. Hmm? I'm trying to see, do I need to pull anything about the masculine? I feel like I don't, because what I'm getting is they are the same. And you talk about one, you're talking about both. You're talking about all trium. You're talking about everybody. You're talking about all of them. This idea of like being valiant and doing the right thing. We have been doing the wrong fucking thing. It has not worked. The proof is in the pudding we have been choking on. I'm feeling very pissed, and I don't know why, and that's okay. But yes, lots of things, lots of beautiful things to look forward to. But I feel like it's important to say you cannot have the pretty without the ugly. And I do not mean this in terms of we cannot have great lives without torture, murder, and rape coming in. That's not what I mean. What I mean is you cannot have that kind of life without acknowledging the parts of you that aren't so squeaky clean. We have to love all of ourselves here, and I feel like we especially have to love the parts of ourselves that have had a fucking enough. I feel like we have been denying the parts of ourselves that have had a fucking enough. These parts of us that just tolerate and tolerate and tolerate and tolerate. It sounds good, it sounds peachy, but it's fucking deadly. Has to go. And that's coming from the yellow sacral chakra. No, yellow, maybe yellow sacral chakra. Coming from the yellow chakra or the solar plexus chakra, but I don't miss is what I'm hearing. I don't miss. Everything I say is always exactly as it should be, because I'm channeling. And these messages are going to help someone. That's what I'm hearing. Okay, don't have much battery percentage left. That's okay. Okay, what else would you like to say? This one card. Okay. I have the Three of Cups. And we have the Son of Cups. And what's this? Ace of Wands. Judgment. Yeah. Massive awakenings. I feel like this is why many people have been having headaches. That's what I'm hearing. If you're like around somebody and they're like, I have a headache. They're having a massive awakening. Because remember what I was saying about the fried fucking computer? If you turn that shit on too quickly and all those documents are downloaded. What I'm hearing is they was taking too fucking long. They was taking too long, not getting the hints. Spirit said, let's go. Amp the shit up. Amp the shit up. So people are having headaches. Getting turned on quick. Let's go. Next. Father of Pentacles. This looks like some divine masculine's about to do the right fucking thing. Or I'm hearing walk-ins. That's what I'm hearing. Walk-ins. Walk-ins are when the higher self walks in to the lower self. I would say. It's this feeling, like I said, it's continued throughout this. Like this feeling of like it was taking too long, people dragging their feet, divine masculines not standing up, not doing the right thing. Okay, fuck that. It's what I was saying earlier about the dragon from that book. It's like you keep on, you're not listening to me. I told you you cannot make a dragon do anything. So stop punishing her. Stop being stubborn. They're like, no. I'm the commander. You can't tell me what to do. He said, okay, I will go above your head to your dragon And then you won't have any rank at all. I will take it from you. Walk in. Walk in. If anybody experiences or notices, like within a divine masculine of theirs, this sudden shift and change, like they're a different person, like it's a walk-in of their higher self. Because a spirit is standing on business. 12:30 now. 1230. Spirit is standing on business. You see this higher self, this rainbow, the higher self, higher chakra stepping in to take the fucking lead. You taking too long. You're not playing. Yeah. I saw this bird today. Lots of these black birds, and then the Son of Cups. The sun. So what I'm getting, again, divine feminine, this is not gender. Step back, pull back. Step back, pull back. Pull it back. The divine masculine is coming to take up the rest of that yin yang space that you've been occupying so beautifully. Good job. Good job. But now you need to pull back because the rest of that, the yang needs to be filled. Or yang, yin yang, I don't know. Needs to be filled with the divine masculine. Okay? Lots of surprises, I feel. Lots of gifts. Be receptive to gifts. And keep telling everything else to fuck off. That's a huge message. Do not accept less than you know you deserve. Even and especially from yourself. Especially from yourself. Don't let yourself shit talk yourself. Don't let yourself constantly doubt yourself. Don't let yourself mistreat yourself. Take care of yourself. Don't play about yourself. And don't let nobody else play on your time. Okay? We have to be very, very clear about these things because, as I said, this heaven of consciousness, it's a place of principle. You won't let yourself in with the bullshit. Okay? This has been fun. Comment if you resonated and share and stuff. I hope this helped. See you soon.